Imagine this. You're sitting at a poker table, heart pounding, staring at a hand that could win you a fortune or cost you everything. The stakes are high, but the truth is, this isn't just poker, it's life. Every day, we're making decisions with incomplete information, hoping for the best outcome, just like a poker player. Annie Duke, a former World Series of Poker champion, knows this feeling better than anyone. In her book Thinking in Bets, she reveals how we can navigate uncertainty and make smarter decisions by adopting the mindset of a professional gambler. Stick around because we're about to explore how embracing uncertainty, learning from mistakes, and separating luck from skill can transform not just your poker game but your entire approach to life. In this audiobook by AudiblePages, let's dive deep, layer by layer, into how this mindset can revolutionize not just your decision-making, but also your ability to handle life's uncertainties. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll not only think in bets, you'll thrive in them. Main point 1. Life is a game of probabilities. Life isn't a chessboard with fixed rules and perfect information. It's a poker table where luck and uncertainty reign supreme. Duke challenges us to rethink the way we evaluate decisions. Instead of focusing solely on outcomes, she urges us to consider the quality of the decision-making process. For example, let's say you run a red light and don't get hit. Was that a smart decision? No, it was dumb luck. Humor helps here. Imagine driving like this every day and saying, "I'm undefeated in red light roulette." Ridiculous, right? Yet, this is how many of us live, evaluating our choices based on outcomes rather than probabilities. Duke's lesson: stop judging your decisions by results alone. Focus on whether you made the best possible choice, given the information you had at the time. To expand this, let's think about how this applies in relationships, careers, and even investments. Imagine a friend who quit a stable job to start their own business. If they succeed, we call them visionary. If they fail, we call them reckless. But were they reckless or just taking a calculated risk? Duke urges us to dig deeper and ask what information they had, what the alternatives were, and whether their decision aligned with their goals. Main point 2. Embracing resulting and avoiding bias. Resulting is a trap where we equate the quality of a decision with the quality of its outcome. Annie Duke illustrates this with a famous NFL example. The coach calls a risky play, it fails, and he's lambasted. But had it worked, he'd be hailed as a genius. The takeaway? Good decisions can have bad outcomes, and bad decisions can occasionally lead to good results. Here's a story to drive it home. Think about a friend who bought Bitcoin at its peak and sold it after it tanked. They might blame the decision to invest, but was it really the decision or just bad timing? Duke helps us see that separating skill from luck requires objectivity, and recognizing biases can help us make better choices in the future. Let's take this a step further. Resulting often blinds us to the lessons we need to learn. Say you launch a project at work and it flops. Instead of asking, "What went wrong?" we often think, "I'm not good at this." But Duke encourages us to dissect the flop. Was it poor timing? Insufficient resources? A misread of the market? By avoiding resulting, we allow ourselves to grow and improve. Main point 3. Learning from mistakes without beating yourself up. Let's face it, nobody likes to be wrong. But in Thinking in Bets, Duke argues that mistakes are gold mines of insight if we approach them correctly. She suggests we treat decisions like bets. What are the odds, and what are we willing to risk? Once we accept that we won't win every bet, it's easier to analyze missteps without feeling defeated. For a laugh, picture someone yelling, "The universe is out to get me," after every minor mishap. Duke would say, calm down, reflect, learn. Use a process she calls result-neutral thinking, detaching emotions from outcomes and asking, did I make a sound choice given what I knew? To deepen this point, let's consider the emotional component. Often, our mistakes sting because we tie them to our identity. I failed becomes, I am a failure. Duke argues for self-compassion. Mistakes are inevitable in a world of uncertainty. So why not see them as opportunities? Reflect on what went wrong, yes, but also on what went right. Even in failure, there are breadcrumbs of success. Main point 4. Building a decision-making group. Good decision-making isn't a solo sport. Annie Duke highlights the importance of creating a decision-making group, a truth-seeking pod, if you will. These are people who challenge your assumptions, question your biases, and help you refine your thinking. A great example? Imagine being surrounded by yes people who always agree with you. Sounds cozy, but unproductive. Now, imagine a friend who points out, you're relying on wishful thinking again. Harsh? Maybe. Valuable? Absolutely. This kind of constructive feedback is what helps us make better decisions in the long run. Let's delve into how to build such a group. The key is diversity, not just in backgrounds, but in perspectives. A good decision-making group includes people who think differently from you, people who aren't afraid to disagree, and people who are committed to truth over comfort. Duke emphasizes setting ground rules, no personal attacks, a focus on evidence, and a shared goal of better decisions. Main point 5. The power of probabilistic thinking. Probabilistic thinking is the core of Duke's philosophy. Instead of viewing decisions as black and white, she encourages us to think in percentages. What's the likelihood of success? How can we minimize risk? Here's a fun analogy. Imagine you're ordering sushi from a new restaurant. There's a 70% chance it's great and a 30% chance you'll regret it. Do you go for it? Most people don't think this way. They just roll the dice. But with Duke's approach, you weigh the odds, prepare for the 30% possibility, and make peace with the outcome. To expand, let's apply probabilistic thinking to bigger life decisions. Should you move to a new city? Start by listing potential outcomes and their probabilities. Factor in the costs, financial, emotional, and social. The beauty of this approach is that it transforms overwhelming decisions into manageable calculations. You may not predict the future, but you'll make peace with your choice. Conclusion: practical steps forward. So, how do we put all this into practice? Start by embracing uncertainty. It's not your enemy. It's a reality. Next, focus on the process over outcomes. Build a decision-making tribe and think in probabilities instead of absolutes. Most importantly, give yourself grace. Life isn't about being perfect. It's about learning, adapting, and growing. Let me leave you with this. Every decision you make is a bet on your future. The question is, are you placing those bets wisely? Thanks to Annie Duke, we have the tools to do just that. Let's shuffle the deck, deal the cards, and play the game of life with confidence. And one last note, remember, poker isn't just about playing the cards you're dealt. It's about playing the players at the table. Life, too, is a game of skill, strategy, and a touch of luck. Play wisely.